Well, they got into policing because they wanted to help, and they loved it, until they were harassed by their male colleagues. Cynthia Mulligan joins us now with a City News investigation into female officers' claims of harassment on the job by male counterparts and just how difficult it is to find justice. Good morning to you, Cyn.
Good morning, Mel. Not only is it hard for them to find justice, many say they have to destroy themselves, their careers, their finances along the way. And harassment against female officers in this country has been very well documented. Look at it, the RCMP, where 3,000 women came forward, won a $100 million lawsuit. The Canadian military is going through its own reckoning, Mel, as you know. And many women from different municipal forces across the country have come forward. And they all have a similar theme. They feel betrayed by the very system, but they also feel that their male-dominated unions haven't done enough to protect them.
What about the male officers? Do they have the union support?
Certainly. I mean, in my case, he was the president of the union.
You brought forward a complaint, and there are 5 different law firms representing the Toronto police officers, the male officers, and they don't have to pay a dime for lawyers.
They don't pay a dime. They get full support.
What kind of legal support did you get to bring that complaint forward?
I had to sell my home. I lost my pension in 2018.
So that was Effie Zarabi, a police officer at 51 Division in Toronto. She brought forward a human rights complaint to a tribunal. She says she tells me she spent over $40,000 so far in legal fees and owes $130,000 more, Mel. And, you know, there's no end in sight. And if these women feel that they're not getting heard, they're not properly heard with their complaints, and they actually have to destroy themselves to get justice.
Cyn, I know you have reached out to the unions, to the mayor, to Toronto Police. Have you heard anything?
All declined my request for an interview. They had many days to respond. I got a couple of statements that, you know, but this is the oldest trick in the book these days, is the PR person just puts a statement out that really doesn't say anything at all addressing the situation. So we're going to be examining this evening on City News at 5 and at 6, and tomorrow I'm going to give you part 2 and delve deeper into the very system and why it's so stacked against these women.
Before you go, Cyn, the idea of not being heard, but also the idea of being muzzled is a whole other layer to this.
Well, so I'm told, Effie tells me that she was given an offer to settle, but she had to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, which she says completely silences her voice because she'd never be able to give details of what happened and she'd never be able to talk about it again. And she doesn't want that. She wants to raise awareness and she wants significant change so that other women coming forward don't have such a difficult time. And if you look at StatsCan, like 35 years ago, only 4% of women in this country were officers. Now that number is up to 22%. So, you know, there are a lot of female officers out there, and I'm not saying all of them have experienced this, but when they do, they need to know that they will be properly heard and they don't have to destroy themselves to be heard.
I'm looking forward to seeing your report tonight, Cyn. So again, tonight, City News at 5 and 6, citynews.ca. And again, continuing this investigation tomorrow. Cynthia Mulligan, as always, appreciate your time. Thank you.